must have Billy and Glenn. Billy is the ultimate weapon.
Oh, Dark Milo, there is a call on your receiver.
Well, let's see what's it all about.
It's me, Jim Sterling. Dark Milo. You thought I was gone.
This is terrible. You're not supposed to be here. We're at war.
Oh, but I feel like bothering you. I do. But I must really state that uh, we're having problems right now on our end too. I mean, you're having problems. You essentially are losing about a huge amount of your clone army. I mean, your stormtroopers are basically disappearing, and
It is true. The war is destroying the Empire. I really don't think the Empire can last any more than a few weeks. We're probably going to just perish, but we have plans.
well, our plans are problematic as well. Well, we got a problem, Dark Mallow. See, my clones are getting retarded. Uh, apparently they're just generating into a bunch of idiots.
Well, it's because, Jim Sterling, is because basically we have never perfected the cloninator. Every single clone we've ever made have turned into idiots. Tell me, I mean, how is even your Spoony one, the original one, the one that is supposed to be the genius?
well, he's getting weird. He's started to do that whole no thing again, and it's really quite sad. What I'm asking for, Dark Milo, is a ceasefire.
What? A ceasefire? But you're a clone. You don't even get a right to anything in the Empire.
I know, but let's do it. I mean, let's be honest. We're really losing pretty bad. Both sides are. We're basically wiping each other out. We could consolidate and maybe make a pact, and maybe one side of the universe is clone territory, the other half is empire. Dark Milo, we don't do negotiations with terrorists.
That is actually quite right. But he has got a good point. Basically, if we don't do a ceasefire, at the rate we're actually fighting, we're losing thousands of stormtroopers an hour. So we need to slow things down to try to consolidate what we have for a one big good siege where we can win this. But we also need the ultimate weapon. So tell me, Jim Sterling, would you be alright if we give you the ceasefire, if you give us the Earth?
Well, of course. I mean, there's a lot of different planets. I mean, it's a lot of different planets out there, that are ours, and it's perfectly fine. Yeah, we're moving them out now.
This is excellent, Sergeant. Send a message to Billy and Glenn, and in Frater, that the Earth is now clear of clones, and we have taken care of the problem.
Right away, sir. Thousands of miles away, on the little gunner ship, basically, the Big Four with Billy and Glenn have just heard the message from Dark Milo. Well, this message is something else, guys. Wow, this is weird. Basically, they've had some kind of a ceasefire or something. Apparently, they were about destroying each other to the point of just making a stalemate. Frater, we gotta talk about this later. I realize this is kind of controversial, but because we are at war and we kind of need the Empire, but we're basically we can take this over somewhere. We could actually defeat Milo and the Empire at once. Well, that's true, but we need to work with him in order to survive. Because we need to know what it is we're facing. We need to know what his weapons are. That clonator we learned because Frater, believe it or not, you have dealt a major blow to Dark Milo. You're the one who started the Clone War. That Clone War has crippled the Empire. That Empire is never going to recover from this. And if we were to strike right away, no. We don't strike until we're ready. But according to this message, the Earth is now clear. So we should go back to Minnesota. We should take Billy and Glenn back to their cabin. So, it's their home. So let's head back there. Oh, okay. We don't know what's down there, though. Well, we gotta take our chances, Spook Uppy. I mean, right now, this clone thing is not done, and Milo, I don't know why Milo was chasing us, and he wants, I don't know if he wants you guys or what, but the reality is we have to kind of play things out a bit. Well, that's the way it is. That's how the game goes. So, now we'll go to the game and get going. Time for more Grand Theft Auto. It's good to play some new games, Oh yeah, I mean, we spent so much time playing like the Disney and Mega Man games, and I'm sure there'll be more times in the future for that kind of thing, and that's a good thing, So, game is a little bit of a tourist simulator at times, But, when you do the quests, it can be fun, but it is actually a very graphically beautiful game. It's, really amazing they took such time with the details. And the thing is if you go in a first person mode, and we don't really do that in these playthroughs, well, there you go, Frater. You're doing something. Yeah, you just gotta kind of push them around a little bit, and then they start to chase you, and that's what you need to do, because that's where the fun is to get a good chase going, and it's kind of Benny Hill like. Well, at least you didn't say Benny Hinn. Oh, that fraud, yeah. Well, Frater, you can't get up there. You're kind of circled here. Well, his one buddy there has just got his coffee. Take advantage of that. Just sneak right up. Yeah, there you go. Just up to those shenanigans, This is probably one of my favorite things to do in this game. Is sort of like get all these people to chase you right around, building kind of really Benny Hill like, it's really very, very funny, very entertaining. Yes, so you're just hiding. Pokepi Adams was really, really on fire the last several shows, and then he's just sort of calmed down. He's just you know, there's not much he can talk about. You know, he just talks about losing his cinder blocks, and he hasn't really been talking about that. He needs new material. You know, I mean, I can't think of anything for him because, for all I know, he might get like really like amused by something as simple as like radiator fluid or something. I don't know. I mean, Pukapi Adams is just
So you real mean, huh?
totally. Now, see, right there, at one point I run up and I kick a guy. Oh, Frater, what happened? And I kick a guy, and I actually think it's part of that. Remember, I mentioned that when I was playing Skyrim, I had a problem with the PS4 controller dying. And it was like getting all problematic, and I think that was part of it. Yeah, you got a problem with your PS4, and I even noticed your disk drive was almost sort of dead. So you're probably gonna run into a problem soon, where it's just gonna be dead, and it doesn't work. Yeah. So there's a ceasefire, which is really fascinating to me, because you'd think that they want to try to do their best to just wipe these clones out, but that definitely shows you maybe that the Empire is in really bad shape. Well, it's probably is. The reports back and forth have been absolutely brutal, and of course, a lot of times you get all happy when you hear the Empire is like kind of not doing good, and it's like, I hate to tell you, but the Empire don't do good. Then the clones obviously are picking up from where the clones aren't doing. I mean, from where the Empire's not doing good. So you don't want to be ruled by them because they're insane. It's terrible actually when you think about it. It's just terrible, terrible, terrible. See, this is one of these moments in Grand Theft Auto where you're just trying to figure out what the heck you to do with your time. Who you mess with, and like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, dude. Hey.
Yeah, this game can be funny, but it's like there's times too where it's like when you're just dealing with the AI, it's just not really funny, and it's just like the same old, same old. It really is like that. It really is. Where you're just like dealing with the same thing over and over and over. So, Frater, what are you doing exactly? I'm randomly running around. This is kind of boring. This is like Adam the Woo. It is kind of like Adam the Woo. Frater, I mean, just at least get a van or something, or RV, and just get out of there. Because it's just boring. Well, we're just about out of time. Kind of glad too, Frater. This game is just boring. Oh, sleeper punch. Right in the push. Yeah, the game can be very boring sometimes. It's like, It's pretty, but it's just you're not in the mood to be like some criminal or whatever. The game is really boring, and I'll see you next time.